The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus took Peter, James, and his brother John and led them up a high mountain by themselves. And he was transfigured before them. His face shone like the sun, and his clothes became white as light. And behold, Moses and Elijah appeared to them, conversing with him. Then Peter said to Jesus in reply, "Lord, it is good that we are here. If you wish, I will make 3 tents here, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." While he was still speaking, behold, a bright cloud cast a shadow over them. Then from the cloud came a voice that said, "This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased. Listen to him." When the disciples heard this, they fell prostrate and were very much afraid. But Jesus came and touched them, saying, "Rise and do not be afraid." And when the disciples raised their eyes, they saw no one else but Jesus alone. As they were coming down from the mountain, Jesus charged them, "Do not tell the vision to anyone until the Son of Man has been raised from the dead." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
There are many voices speaking to us in the world today. With 24-hour news stations, talk shows, and the internet, we're surrounded by voices. And it's easy to find one that you like. Because if you don't like what one person is saying, you just change the channel, and you'll find someone saying the exact opposite. We can always find someone who is saying what we want to hear. There's someone out there who agrees with us, who says things the way we want them to be said. That way we can avoid being uncomfortable or challenged. We don't have to look at our lives, and we feel good because our views are reinforced. These voices are always loud and confident. That's one of the reasons we know they're right. There's no doubt or even hesitation in them. So they're right on 2 fronts. 1, they speak with authority, and 2, they agree with us. There's also a 3rd front they're right on, is they clearly proclaim that every other view is wrong. The Transfiguration isn't a glimpse into the future glory of Jesus. It's an insight into his identity that was there all along. Jesus is the beloved Son of God. He is the one who pleases the Father. And the Father's command in reference to Jesus is very simple. Listen to him. We are called to listen to the voice of Jesus. It probably won't be saying what we want to hear, maybe far from what we want to hear. But Jesus is the one who is from the Father. If we want to know what God is like, listen to Jesus. Moses received revelation from God. Jesus is the revelation of God. If we want to know the right path to follow, listen to Jesus. We may not like what he says, what we hear, but it's the voice the Father tells us to listen to. Now, we have to listen closely to hear the voice of Jesus. We'll hear it in the gospel. We'll hear it in family members and friends and even in strangers. And we'll hear it in our hearts. This voice won't be loud, but it will be clear and consistent. The voice of Jesus constantly calls us to the path of love and mercy. The voice of Jesus always points us to the way of compassion and service. That voice will challenge us to forgive and to speak for those who aren't heard. That's the voice of Jesus. That's the voice the Father tells us to listen to. By listening and following that voice, we will transfigure our world.